tonight at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. This giant, magnificent venue with no fans tonight. It's a 3-1 aggregate lead for Cruz Azul, the dominant side in the current Liga MX season, taking on the Canadian champion, Toronto FC. Mike Watts, so happy to welcome you here tonight. Your eyes should drift to the upper left-hand corner. Columbus and Monterrey play tomorrow. That's currently level at 2 goals apiece. Should Cruz Azul cruise through this match with a victory, it puts them in a very good position to attempt to host the second leg in the semifinals when this competition picks up in a few months. Now, how do we get here? Toronto FC is a nomadic side right now. There is no home in Canada, so they go to Tampa, and at Raymond James Stadium, the first goal from Angulo, 3rd minute, simply magnificent. Toronto did respond. It dropped down perfectly for Jonathan Osorio. He answers in the 20th, but Angulo bags one in the 22nd minute. Beg your pardon, the ball knocked across by Escobar. VAR would say no goal. This, moments later, another set piece, the Achilles heel for Toronto without doubt. And the 3rd road goal, a finishing touch, did collide off the head of Michael Bradley, but a perfect finish by Pablo Aguilar nonetheless. And it would finish 3-1, Cruz Azul over Toronto FC. So from one giant empty stadium to another, the floodlights on here in Mexico City. This is typically a game in which fans would be more than engaged. One would anticipate a pretty sizable number of fans in a normal world, but the world right now is simply not normal. There's a buzz around this Cruz Azul side, and as has been noted many times over the past 24 years since their last domestic title, this is a side that struggles to see out ties. Is that going to be the case tonight? Time will tell, but certainly their thoughts about how it ended in December in their most recent Liguilla have to reign as ghosts in this venue, even though Cruz Azul finished first in the overall table in the Clausura in Mexico. This is a side that felt so confident with their performance last time out that outside of Orbelin Pineda, who's been left out of the 23 and the 18 altogether, they're not going to make changes. It is the stingiest defense in Mexico, and all they have to do is protect a 2-goal lead. The road goals make it so that Toronto simply must score 3 or more. It seems like a tall mountain. For Toronto FC, no Josie Altidore tonight, no Eric Zavaleta. They didn't make the trip, but Auro and Ralph Priso also leave the lineup. It is a significantly adjusted group for Chris Armas, who's now just in his 5th game on the job. There is reason to believe that this side will get their opportunities tonight. It's a side that's known for their high-pressing style and one that would love to receive the ball high up the field against a complacent Cruz Azul, should they arrive that way, and try to really put them into the sword early. But Toronto enters with a group of players that have made runs in this competition before. The 2018 Champions League final ran through Estadio Azteca as they ultimately knocked out Club America at the Azteca in the second leg of the semifinal that year. So the belief is there, even though some of the names and faces have changed. This Toronto FC badge does carry weight in this competition, and while they really haven't struggled to score in any games yet, they've certainly taken on a bit of water as well. So the question coming in tonight is, can Cruz Azul vanquish some of those ghosts that make you think perhaps they could let this slip away against all odds? And all the while, for Toronto FC, does this high-pressing style create enough opportunities to give themselves a realistic chance to bag 3 goals, allow 1 or fewer, and take this either to penalties or win it outright in regulation in the second leg? It truly is a fascinating fixture, and one that, coming in, you had to think Toronto was so confident after how they took care of Club Leon, one of the Mexican giants, the side that won the Liguilla in the previous semester. But maybe that confidence is wavering. It's a side that failed to defeat Vancouver in their most recent MLS game, They took on a lot of water against Montreal. And there is, at this early stage of Chris Armas's tenure, low expectations considering the number of players missing, the number of players who are soon to join the side. If they're able to get out of this round, get into the summer, play a semifinal, you never know, Toronto FC might just add another star above their badge. Cruz Azul takes the field first. Michael Bradley, who knows this turf as well as any American, captains Toronto FC, leads the Reds in behind. The referees lead the procession into an empty Estadio Azteca. It's Toronto FC trailing 3-1 on the aggregate, preparing for the second leg against Mexican giant Cruz Azul. Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The captains meeting before kickoff. Michael Bradley on the left-hand side, the experienced goalkeeper Jesus Corona on the other. Said Martinez has seen Gold Cup and U20 World Cup experience. His latest opportunity to run a CONCACAF Champions League match. There you see his on-field help, but that's not all that he has in his sail tonight. VAR played a dominant role in the opening fixtures of the quarterfinals, including a goal that was disallowed for Toronto FC. VAR is available tonight. Those the officials. The VAR is Carlos Ayala. Tatiana Guzman is the assistant for the VAR. A look at the lineups, and we begin with Cruz Azul, the home side under Juan Reynoso. Jesus Corona remains in the lineup, the 40-year-old goalkeeper, still the standard setter at Cruz Azul for this tremendous defense. Brian Angulo scored twice in the opening leg. In the back, they have made no changes. Aldrete and Rivero on the sides. Aguilar, Escobar protect Corona. For Toronto FC, they've made 4 changes. Chris Mavinga will pair with Omar Gonzalez at center back. Richie Larea returns from a yellow card accumulation suspension. Nick De Leon steps into the lineup as well, captained by Michael Bradley. The goalkeeper is Alex Bono. There is something eerie tonight about the Estadio Azteca as you see the available substitutes, most notably Jonathan Rodriguez is available for Cruz Azul. Should this start to go sideways, Auro, the surprising player, left out. The opening whistle, we are underway. Toronto FC taking on Cruz Azul from a closed-door Estadio Azteca in Mexico. It's a long road back for Toronto, but they begin that climb at 7,500 feet. It begins Cruz Azul 3, Toronto FC 1. Michael Bradley goes crashing into Jonathan Osorio in a way that would be a foul had it come with a different colored shirt. Field providing no help for Rivero. Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg early ball. Sought out Akinola. Just a few of the young players featuring tonight, both 21 years old. Schaffelberg off on the left, Akinola leading the line. You've got experience in Omar Gonzalez, 32 years old, Justin Morrow at 33, Michael Bradley, 33 years young as well. Schaffelberg stepped in, Delgado, given to Yotun. Rolled wide, Roberto Alvarado. Angulo slips it ahead, Montoya. Montoya went to the near post, Bono got a piece.
Okay, here we go.
90 seconds in, Cruz Azul throws the opening jab.
Two out there, come on. First contact if we can, come on.
This began to feel quite a bit like the opener that Angulo scored in Tampa a week ago. That was the 3rd minute, curled into the upper corner. Montoya, different route, it is a corner. Yotun, header skied, Bono over the top of Angulo. Alex Bono, 5 saves against Cruz Azul the first time around. No goalkeeper in CONCACAF Champions League. He's made more interventions thus far. Alvarado. Shoved off ably by Osorio. Larea. Good dance by the 26-year-old outside back from Toronto. Osorio. Delgado. Slipped that, De Leon gave chase, Corona off his line. Jesus Corona, how many more years will he go after this? He won the Champions League crown in 2014. Reached the Copa Libertadores final in 2005 as well. Gold Cup winning goalkeeper with over 50 caps for El Tri. Aldrete. Gonzalez. Juan Reynoso said in the tunnel in the lead up to this match, this is a well-rested side, a hard rival, and if they're not careful, they can be beat tonight. Schaffelberg down under the challenge of Yotun. Schaffelberg plays with a bit of youthful exuberance under Chris Armas, whose tenure now stretches into a 6th competitive match. 4th in Champions League, 2 in Major League Soccer, previously the head coach at New York Red Bulls in MLS after a 12-year playing career in the league. Reunited with Ali Curtis, the general manager for Toronto FC. He was instrumental in Armas's rise at Red Bull before Curtis took over for the departing Tim Bezvichenko, who's now at Columbus with Caleb Porter. Morrow. Bradley. Schaffelberg. Bradley came off of Romo. 5 minutes in, Toronto trails 3-1 in the aggregate. Cruz Azul would need to concede 3 for Toronto to have any chance to move on, as the road goals make a 2-0 win insufficient. It's a side that have allowed 11 goals in 17 League MX games. To say it's highly unlikely might be an understatement. It will take Toronto's best today. Siphoned off with Schaffelberg running through. Skips back here, Gonzalez. Got there in time, took up a big piece of the turf. Went down really awkwardly. Escobar. Rivero. Baca. Angulo. Bradley. Mavinga goes back to Bono. Toronto has spoken about needing to win second balls with consistency. They did. Larea won the free quick kick, plays quickly. Nick De Leon. De Leon rolls wide. De Leon again. Turns down Schaffelberg, chips. Osorio heads down. Aldrete nods it away. Toronto's first good opportunity of the match comes in the 7th. The absolute patience of the 30-year-old Nick De Leon. Had options, goes end line. Good defense of the post by the experienced Adrian Aldrete. Corner, Bradley. Morrow. A look at that service and the immediate instinct to take care of the post from Aldrete. Osorio, who did score in the first leg, is the Golden Boot winner of the 2018 CONCACAF Champions League. And an early mark from the referee to Ignacio Rivero, not to waste time. Montoya tackled.
That's it. Good.
Alvarado.
Good. Shift. Well done. Good, good, good.
Pinged up by Aguilar. This will get over Morrow. Rivero. Yotun was arriving at the back post. That came off of Angulo. Slide in here. Yotun went down.
Here we go. Reconnect, Rich. Good. Get together. Get together.
Was the build-up onside? Question number one, especially with the VAR. Omar Gonzalez didn't get to it, and surprisingly, neither did Brian Angulo.
Yes.
Akinola gives chase.
Watch the big one. Connect with Omar.
Schaffelberg flew by. This will roll all the way down to Bono. In speaking about the style of play for Cruz Azul, Chris Armas pointed to an average of about 50 long balls played between their matches against Montreal and Vancouver. By comparison, he said Cruz Azul bombs forward about 90 balls a game.
Come on, Nick.
Omar Gonzalez. Aldrete, 10 minutes gone in the Mexican capital city. Scoreless between Cruz Azul and Toronto FC in the second leg. On the aggregate, it remains Cruz Azul 3, Toronto FC 1.
Come on, kid.
Back by Angulo.
Halfway, the big one's coming also. Oh, Ayo!
Aldrete.
Ground, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh! Go ahead, Ayo!
Good ball steered ahead. Angulo Romo gave chase. Bradley in midfield. Osorio. Lorea.
Give us some width. Jacob, come on, tempo, Jacob. 2 for 1 there, Omar. Come on, sort that out.
Schaffelberg rode out the challenge and left that short. Baca took it away. Gonzalez. For Toronto FC, they've been certainly rumored to bring back Kamar Lawrence to Major League Soccer from Anderlecht. He's at New York Red Bulls under Ali Curtis. Provides certainly some depth at outside back. He's been a bit thin. Lorea's previous suspension, and Alro dropped to the bench tonight. Floated ball long down the right-hand side. Ball across for Angulo. The late arrival of Omar Gonzalez. He got a piece. Corner, Cruz Azul. It's going to be high risk, high reward for Toronto FC. Running Montoya left Bono trapped between 2 minds. Omar Gonzalez did just enough.
Here we go. Away!
Corner. Header, snap towards goal, and Bono dives down. Denies Aguilar his 2nd goal of the tie.
I mark him and then I leave to go there.
Here we go. Look early. We're good. We're good. We're good.
This corner into the long ball forward. Morrill.
Here we go. Good, good, good.
It'll be another corner for Cruz Azul.
Can we move someone out or what? Is it fine?
You could hear the Toronto players trying to tweak this and get it right.
No one else. No one else. Out through your hair. Out through your hair. All right, 1 to your left. 1 to your left. Good, right there.
If Toronto can counter, perhaps there'd be room. Ball across. There's Bradley. Not the most convincing of clearances. Romo delivers. That is an excellent save. Low, hard bouncing ball. Bono gets enough of to send wayward. Conversely, Michael Bradley sprinting a 10-yard gap to try and cover all that space. It's a long way out to try and win a header and steer it direct on target. Aguilar did it just fine. Came off of De Leon. Alvarado for Cruz Azul. We near the 15-minute mark.
Watch the big one, Jacob. The big one.
Toronto still needs 3 goals to see themselves through into the semifinal. Should they do so, should rumors be true, Lawrence arrival and Jefferson Soteldo is rumored to be in from Brazil. Could provide scoring pop, the 3rd designated player for Toronto FC, should the signing be completed. All the while, still waiting for Alejandro Pasuelo to return and Josie Altidore out tonight. Romo. So the Toronto FC that you see right now may well not be much like the one you'd see in August. Toronto completes a mammoth comeback. Bono. That got by Osorio, and a clever back heel leading De Leon. Chips it ahead. Akinola is through. Ayo Akinola! Well, everyone was looking for the offside whistle. It never came as the play completed, but it's arrived now. By a very slim margin, and with VAR introduced into the competition at this quarterfinal stage, the goal is for it to not intervene unnecessarily, that the lines won't be drawn on the field itself. This is meant to be for clear and obvious review, which, to be fair, should have been the intent all along. Although that's become a bit hackneyed with time. Bradley. Delgado. Bradley. Mavinga. The Frenchman once more. Good foil for Omar Gonzalez in the back. Two players who see the game well but go about it differently. Larea. Schaffelberg. It's become a bit condensed. This will get out to Osorio, but a heavy touch allows Cruz Azul to recover. Alvarado sends it out to touch.
Just goal side, Justin, right? Break quickly, Justin, goal side.
Delgado. Gonzalez extended high up the field.
Come on, do it. Calm down. Good, Mike. Keep moving. Come on, Jake. Oh, Justin. There it is.
Akinola slings through. Schaffelberg through his foot, and Osorio takes over. Osorio slips. De Leon! But the whistle arrives. This will be offside. The VAR will have a chance to look at it, but it sure seemed De Leon had gone well beyond the last defender at first glance. And an injured player down is the center back, Aguilar. Well, take a look. This ball chipped back. Your eye should drift to the top of your screen. And it's that one extra second waited at the end will disallow the Toronto goal.
Well done, Ayo. Good, Nick. Keep going. Second ball also. Inside, Jake. Second one. Second one. Fan out, Rich. Fan out.
20th minute, you can hear Chris Armas trying to implement. It's a difficult system to operate. Really does take all 10 field players working in unison to press the way Toronto wants to. And it's frankly an intriguing roster with which to attempt it in his early days as the Toronto FC manager.
Ayo, round your run. Don't let him back across, Ayo. Good, Nick. Don't let him back across, Nick.
Aldrete.
Here we go. Attack. Here we go.
Larea here to get kicked in the knee awkwardly. Akinola spins. Far too many blue shirts to continue. Bradley quaffs. Plays forward, Schaffelberg. That took a deflection and came in to Corona. 21st minute of a scoreless affair at over 7,000 feet altitude in Mexico. Cruz Azul 0, Toronto FC 0. In the aggregate, it remains a sturdy 3-1 Cruz Azul lead. A foul that the Toronto FC staff appeared to vehemently disagree with. Larrea and Montoya, that's an inadvertent elbow, but it does get up above the shoulders and results in a third yellow card in 3 games for Richie Larrea, who missed the last game due to said accumulation suspension. The good news for Larrea, should Toronto continue, assuming he doesn't get sent off tonight, yellow cards are wiped out at the end of the quarterfinal round.
Jake, air on the side of that. Yes.
Join the back.
It leads to a free kick on valuable real estate. Yotun, Bradley. Osorio fans out, recovered by Baca.
Good, Marky, good. Get organized, just get organized. Just a little bit. Don't dive it, don't get the ball. Good.
Back to Chris Armas in a moment. Gonna look at that effort by Schaffelberg, and maybe that could have snuck inside the post. Perhaps it was going wayward. 21-year-old communicating with the Toronto FC captain. Montoya. Excellent ball forward. Angulo is there. Angulo, Mavinga, Romo. There's Bono.
Come on, Rich. Good. Drive. Here we go, Mike.
Hugely necessary from Chris Mavinga. Larrea gets bowled over, and the whistle comes in on Walter Montoya. Angulo narrowly staying onside. Mavinga with the slide. Romo attempted to take over. And Luis Romo, who in Apertura 2020 was in the best 11 for the Mexican League, is rumored to be in contract talks right now with the Cruz Azul board. And a sporting staff that has seen a bit of turnover over the past 6 months. Schaffelberg had come to overload the near side. Romo. And off that overload, Toronto perhaps a bit exposed. Osorio did well to recover. Romo. Justin Morrow did well to allow that to fly by. Morrow did score what ended up being a decisive goal against Club Leon in the round of 16 of this Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League campaign. Slipped through, Angulo gave chase. Gonzalez is there. Akinola back. De Leon slips. Akinola went to the near post, and there is the big palm of Corona to get it wide. Toronto has not been without their chances. They'll need to be more efficient to get 3 goals out of this game. Those slip balls in behind have been dynamite tonight. De Leon's passing has been a real plus for Toronto FC. Akinola this time did put it on target. Bradley. Header looping off the crossbar. Center backs getting forward for Toronto FC on the corner. Got over Mavinga, and Omar Gonzalez lets fly from 17 yards or so out. Tickles the crossbar. Naturally, Cruz Azul has this cushion with which to work, but while they've created 2 or 3 truly good opportunities, they've allowed Toronto a chance to breathe a little life into this game if they could just put one in the net. Cruz Azul leads 3-1, 3 road goals in Tampa Bay. Toronto FC beginning this 2021 season as their 2020 calendar year concluded without the ability to play at BMO Field in Canada.
Drive, here we go. Calm down.
Gonzalez leads the charge. Bradley, 2 longtime U.S. national team teammates. Bono. An exaggerated finish. Back now to Morrow. And Bono again.
Here we go. Second one, Marty. Second one.
Angulo. Angulo went for goal and scores! An intuition, an inkling, a dream of a goal for Cruz Azul. Brian Angulo unleashes, beats Bono. 1-0 Cruz Azul, 4-1 in the aggregate. How about taking this on the first time? How about knowing exactly how much you need to beat Bono from there? What a goal for Angulo, his 3rd of the tie, an individual Toronto heartbreaker.
Coming, Jacob, coming.
He scored 2 goals in Ligue MX all season, 11 games. Has 3 in 2 games against Toronto now. Bradley wins the free kick. Let's look at this another way, however. Toronto needed 3 goals coming into the night to overturn Cruz Azul's lead. Those 3 road goals would make it 4-3. Now that Cruz Azul has scored 3 goals for Toronto would potentially send it to penalties. They couldn't win outright now with 3 goals, but Toronto needs 3 goals nonetheless. The math has not changed in that sense. 1 more goal for Cruz Azul, however, and life will get much more difficult for Toronto. Morrow tried to get a piece.
Está bien, profe, está bien. Más atrás. Por dentro, cerrado, aguante bien. Va pasada, Ojo a la marca. El rebote, Cuco.
Closing in on the half-hour mark.
Cuco, Cuco.
Bradley looks on. Bradley delivers. Bounced right to Corona. De Leon caught Yoshi Yotun.
Justin's got to fan out,
Gonzalez defensively. Makes good with Angulo.
Come on, option.
Bradley, foul Yotun.
Come on.
Referee has claimed that for Yotun, no more leash, no more slack. Gonzalez. Bradley muscles through. Romo is asking for a foul. Delgado, Morrow, Schaffelberg, Escobar.
Stay in front. Not too far. Yeah, just in front. Middle. Jacob, in between these two. Whoever checks in is yours.
Brian Angulo scored in the 27th minute. A gut punch for Toronto FC, who have created on the night. Don't have a goal yet. They still need 3. Schaffelberg early for Osorio. Osorio sprinting. Had it escape the end line. Alvarado, Yotun. Baca.
Good, Ricky, fan out. We're ready to go. We're ready. Yes. You can go, brother. You don't have to look over. Yes, move feet. Mano. Sí. Se va. Mano. Arriba, Chuy, mira, mano a mano. Come on, Omar, you can step in then. You can step in and get it, yeah.
Schaffelberg. Baca, who came into San Jose Earthquakes early in his career under Frank Yallop, the former Canadian international and eventual Canadian national team manager. Yallop set to take over Monterey Bay in the USL Championship in 2021. Baca played just shy of 100 games for the Earthquakes before coming to Cruz Azul, 22 in blue.
Just help us out. Bring us in. Close the door.
Lifted early by Alvarado. Rivero circles. There's Angulo. Touched it across. Angulo turns. Romo returns.
Backside. Up, Jacob. Up!
Baca. Romo. Rivero inching down the line. Now he flies. Romo, Yotun.
Stay nice and tight, Nick. Stay tight in there initially. Stay tight. Fine. Stay tight. Don't trip. Yes.
Aguilar.
Tight. Good.
Alvarado.
You can round your run, Nick. You can find it. Round it.
Aguilar. Bono leaps into the frame. 35 minutes gone. Cruz Azul 4, Toronto 1 on aggregate. Goal in the 27th minute from Brian Angulo takes away Toronto's ability with 3 goals to win this tie outright, but would potentially allow them to send it to penalties should a 3-1 scoreline erupt in Toronto's favor tonight at the closed-door Estadio Azteca. This will find Larea. Terrific recovery in the penalty area. This appeared to catch the hand of Delgado. Moro's header, ill-fated, a wave from Bono, but Brian Angulo's third goal in 2 Champions League matches against Toronto FC, outdoing his first effort in the 3rd minute. A 20-yard curling ball past Bono. Surely Brian Angulo will live in some nightmares for Toronto FC players and fans. Montoya.
Behind the inside, looking out, Nick. Inside out. Just shift. Just shift. Control it.
Alvarado.
Fine, little bit of pressure. Fine. Watch the one behind, Omar.
Aguilar. Strong-willed collision with Moro. Montoya drops it back. Baca wanted the return. Romo. Service. Headed away by Gonzalez. Angulo was waiting just beyond the 6-yard box. Osorio.
You just got to be an option for us, that's all.
Touch will be disappointing. Thought he'd been able to keep it in. Aldrete.
Inside, looking out.
Tomorrow, Club America and Portland Timbers level at 1. Play here at the Azteca.
Watch behind you, Oso.
Monterrey. Welcome Columbus Crew. That match leveled 2 goals apiece. Plenty of late heroics at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus. Turns to Estadio BBVA. Earlier tonight outside Philadelphia, the Union and Atlanta finished 1 goal apiece. Atlanta dispatched in the quarterfinal of CONCACAF Champions League. The Philadelphia Union guarantee at least 1 MLS side into the semifinals. It was guaranteed from the moment the round of 16 had concluded. Romo. There's Mavinga. Mavinga tucked out by Romo, who's taking no risk. Think about the history of Cruz Azul in Champions League, and this is their 30th ever home match in the current iteration of the competition. They've played over 100 total matches. As the nutmeg is on point from Moro, but siphoned off by Angulo. Going back to 1962 in international CONCACAF sanctioned competition, but in Champions League, it's their 30th game at home. Cruz Azul has lost just once at Estadio Azteca in that time. Once. Head to Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg, chance to get a second ball across. Had this already gotten out. Well, the arm goes up here from the referee. Hard to imagine how it's offside rather than simply getting over the end line. Nonetheless, Rivero, Yotun.
So we can watch it. Also, if we want, yes. Let me just shift.
Alvarado. Alvarado found the space. Tees up Romo. Romo dancing. Mavinga shielding. Bono arrives. Can Toronto get a goal before halftime? 2 goals and a half feels very achievable with the number of chances they had in the opening 20, 30 minutes. But since the Cruz Azul goal in the 27th minute by Angulo, Toronto has gone quiet. Perhaps Cruz Azul has simply tightened the screws. That 4-1 aggregate lead hangs in the air right now. Cruz Azul knows that sometimes you do manage to score 4 goals in a playoff knockout tie and fail to go through. It happened to them in December. The idea that that's going to happen again is seemingly falling away. A 4-0 win against Pumas Unam and a 4-0 loss in the second leg, failing to advance as the lower seed. There's a yellow on the challenge by Roberto Alvarado, the young Mexican who certainly will expect to be in the conversation to go to Tokyo over the summer to play in the Olympics. Free kick, Bradley. Gonzalez rose up for it. Comes out to Morrow. Akinola leading Schaffelberg. Came off of Angulo with a burst of speed. And in the end, Angulo chopped down by Akinola. Juan Reynoso's available substitutes warming. It'll bear repeating until Cruz Azul either wins the title or falls short. Their opening draw against Arcai was the most jaw-dropping result thus far in Champions League. All the while, the second leg, 8-0, 7 different goal scorers. And what was deemed locally a sin of pride, allowing Arcai to finish level in the Dominican Republic against a club of Cruz Azul's immeasurable stature in the region. Very much atoned for by recent performances. It's 18 unbeaten all competitions for Cruz Azul. It was 11 in a row before the Arcai draw. And as we approach halftime, Cruz Azul trying to maintain this 1-goal advantage. In the second leg, 3-goal advantage in the tie. Delgado pirouettes. Morrow. Delgado. Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg dances, and now he's through with a tug of the shirt, sends the service, slide in. This will be a goal kick. If you're Schaffelberg, you go down right here. Does that give you a better opportunity than simply trying to swing the ball over De Leon and Akinola in that moment? Montoya. Vinga won it briefly. Alvarado. Settles for Montoya. Alvarado, all this space. Alvarado steps by Bradley. In goes Lorea. Stuck in. Is there room to attack in the waning seconds of this first half? Ayo Akinola. Escobar in tow. A limited amount of stoppage time, to be sure. And that is that. Toronto FC needed 3 goals coming into the night to win the tie outright. And at halftime, they'll need 3 goals to make it to penalties. For Alex Bono, he is the Player on the wrong end of another magnificent goal by a Mexican player. Player for a massive Mexican side, that is. The Ecuadorian Brian Angulo has now bagged 3 in the tie of Cruz Azul's 4. And at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, it is Cruz Azul in fine condition to try and reach the semifinal in Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. At halftime of the second leg, Cruz Azul 1, Toronto 0. In the aggregate, Cruz Azul 4, Toronto 1. Second leg, Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. From the very beginning, there seemed to be confusion about in what way Toronto should take the field. They knew they'd need 3 goals tonight. The coaches meeting pregame, both with kind words leading into this second leg and a cheery attitude as Cruz Azul entered 3-1. Advantageous after their victory in the first leg in Tampa Bay, Florida. Look at the opening minutes. Opportunities galore for Toronto FC. Jonathan Osorio nodding a ball down that ultimately was recovered by the defender at the post, Aldrete. Cruz Azul started to create about 15 minutes into the game. A couple of really good opportunities. Bono pressed into service multiple times. He had 14 saves in 3 matches so far in Champions League, and he would make a handful more in the opening 45 minutes. One of the better opportunities for Ayo Akinola in front for Toronto FC, replacing Josie Altidore, who is not in the 18 this evening, the legendary American striker. Speaking of legendary, these are the kinds of goals that get remembered. From 45 yards away, Brian Angulo, on a wing and a prayer, fires this over the outstretched fingertips of Alex Bono, his third of the tie. All of a sudden, Toronto down 4-1 in the aggregate. Still, 3 goals would be enough to extend the tie for Toronto FC. And a bit of physicality began to come into play late in this first half as well. Angulo picking up a bit of a knock to the toes inside the cleat. Schaffelberg getting a late ball across. Was he best off to go down here, perhaps, rather than continue to allow the play on? Either way, it's still a 3-goal deficit for Toronto FC in theory. Look at first half statistics from the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. Cruz Azul more of the possession, and whenever Toronto's press got remotely close, they had no problem pinging the ball 50 yards downfield. Toronto's press, in the end, is up against a mighty tough opponent, the Cruz Azul side that takes great pleasure in sending the ball a long way through this thin 7,200-foot altitude air. In the end, the scoreline is still very much advantageous for Cruz Azul. It's 4-1 in the aggregate. The 2 matches tomorrow night, Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League, move into their second legs on level terms. It means the sides that host are in a better position by way of road goals, but they should be exciting matches nonetheless.
The official CONCACAF app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things CONCACAF. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your CONCACAF experience to the next level. Download now the official CONCACAF app. Available on the App Store and Google Play.
Primo!
Defensiva. Dale. Defensiva. Dale.
Second one. Hey! Hey! Doesn't change it. A la pierna alejada. Voltea, voltea.
Número 25.
No, porque se va a sacar el paso. Mejor no.
Sí, yo ahora sí ya. Gracias, muy amable. Pensé que era un pollo.
Is your shirt inside?
The scoreline may, in aggregate, look lopsided, but it's no more lopsided than it was coming into the night in theory for Toronto FC. 3 goals were a necessity. That remains the case. They can't win the tie outright that way, but they can still very much move this to penalties with 3 goals. It is 4-1 Cruz Azul in the aggregate as the second half of this second leg just moments away from commencing in front of tens of thousands of empty seats and lights pouring out over the Estadio Azteca. It was an intriguing lineup choice for Angulo not to start. However, it appears Angulo is going to be a change for Toronto FC going into this second half to try and find some life. And perhaps as telling as anything, Alex Bono stands in goal, but the rest of the Toronto team slow to come up from the underbelly of the Estadio Azteca and join him. The first 25 to 30 minutes, you felt every bit of Chris Armas's pregame expectation, that there was belief, confidence, that they could overturn what is certainly a difficult result in Tampa Bay. Seeing Jonathan Osorio walking with an ice bag around his upper leg is one of multiple things tonight that will leave Toronto FC fans feeling like there could have been more. Angulo will come on. Tsubasa Endo will come on as well, the former number 9 overall pick in 2015 by Toronto FC in the MLS Super Draft. Can those changes spark something in this second half? We are underway at the Estadio Azteca. Second half, second leg. 4-1 in the aggregate, 1-0 tonight, both in favor of Cruz Azul. Toronto FC need 3 unanswered to put this tie on level terms and potentially send us to penalties. Montoya, Bono leaps out on top of what had become a stationary ball on the rebound. Marky Delgado. Just 1 goal could give Toronto FC some belief. Angulo coming on replaces Mavinga, and so that's a wing back coming on for a center back. Angulo can certainly play higher up the field. Osorio comes out. You saw he was icing his leg. Unclear if there's any significant aggravation there or simply just a note of a night that's over. Endo came on for him. This competition is truly snake-bit Toronto injury-wise, whether the injuries occurred in the competition or around its arrival. Angulo. It appears Moro will transition into midfield. That'll leave Angulo as the left back, Omar Gonzalez as the center back of a 3, although Angulo may be pulling the strings as a left center back in a 4, the way Moro is lined up opposite Larea. Either way, no time for Toronto FC to waste. That ball caught Yotun on the arm. See Tsubasa Endo there, 1 goal in 17 appearances. Hardly the yield of a top-tier MLS player. A one with exceeding optimism and capability. Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg, Escobar with a bit of a touch there. Schaffelberg goes flying. Free kick, Toronto FC. Maybe they can make something happen here. It would take a collapse of Cruz Azulian effect. But the earlier Toronto can score, more confidence they'll carry the rest of the way against this stone wall of a defense and Jesus Corona. Bradley. It's too high for Akinola. Larea. Delgado. The lineup for Toronto FC. You see Endo coming on. And Auro Jr. as well. Endo got a piece. But Cruz Azul into the attacking half. Rivero. Scott over Auro. Romo. Alvarado off on the left. Rivero will be on the right in the second half of play. 4 minutes deep. Bono fires forward. Auro. A Brazilian defender.
Second one, take. Second one, find little spaces, Stephen. Little space, get perfect. Come on, go. 2v1, here, go.
Gonzalez. Came off Aldrete. Romo. Didn't reach Montoya. Cruz Azul's aggregate advantage 4-1. Should they maintain the advantage, they'd see either Rayados Monterrey, the 2019 champion, or the reigning Major League Soccer MLS Cup champion, Columbus Crew. That's 2-2 after one leg complete. The second leg tomorrow night. Baca. Rivero, open runner, settled off the outside of the netting. Alvarado striking that awkwardly at the end. Tack on for Cruz Azul once more. Rivero. And this hammered wide. It was just a lackadaisical recovery by Toronto FC, and Roberto Alvarado comes screaming in. Got over Angulo. Endo just a bit slow. Alvarado causes Bono to splay. Endo. Make no mistakes, for Tsubasa Endo, a chance to make a real impact on your manager. They know the talent's there. He spent some time out on loan with their USL side. Some pretty decent results. He released in 2017 to create another international roster spot. Ball wound across, Akinola gave chase. Bono. Schaffelberg tangled up with Montoya.
All right. Suba, yes, I like that diamond. Yes, to help us out inside. Rich, you can fan out. Good spot, Rich.
Cruz Azul, 6 CONCACAF club titles, last in 2014. Previous manager Siboldi spoke so often about trying to return a sense of pride to fans. Winning everything, he said, even marbles. Ultimately, he wasn't the man to take them that far, but Juan Reynoso, the Peruvian manager who's come in this first year, manager of the first team, has done an outstanding job. The changes are coming here for Cruz Azul. Joaquin Martinez comes on. Rumors are that Shaggy looks to solidify an extension in weeks to come. Guillermo Fernandez will replace Alvarado. Alvarado is playing on a yellow card. Martinez, Baca. Fernandez. Angulo in the 27th sapped any momentum that Toronto carried in the opening half of the first half. Cruz Azul have felt the more dominant side since that time. Goal scored on a scuffed clearance and a 45-yard golazo from Brian Angulo. Baca. Flex, Romo couldn't take hold. Bradley did, however. Delgado. A goal soon for Toronto, and they're not out of this. Cruz Azul have had such compelling grip on the ball in the past 10 minutes. Cruz Azul did win the 2019 Leagues Cup, the inaugural competition between League MX and MLS sides, subservient to the CONCACAF Champions League. One away to Chicago, one against LA Galaxy, and then finished off Tigres in the final. Angulo, why not? As for Montoya, and hazard pay for the cameraman. Careened off of Romo. Romo the return. Romo went to the far post. Cleared away after another save by Bono. Bono's had a long night, made some big saves. There's something to be said for the fact that what everyone will remember at the end of this night was the goal that Angulo scored. But Bono now some 20 saves in 4 games of Champions League. Angulo maintained by Martinez, no. Another look at the carom that came kindly to Romo, and Omar Gonzalez sent that to another province. Came up to Akinola, and Endo Tricoli trying to create while Delgado was streaking down the middle of the field. There's just no Pozuelo, no Javinko, no player that can really individually break Cruz Azul down, it feels right now. Javinko, long gone, the Golden Ball winner in 2018. Romo, the nutmeg to create. Bradley circumnavigates Martinez. Schaffelberg. So too, Greg Vanney has moved on to the LA Galaxy, the man who coached Toronto to that championship final. Occupying the same coast as the manager, Matias Almeida, ultimately proved to undo Toronto's run as the architect of Chivas' man-marking system. Jesse Marsh, who's continued to rise up the European ranks as a manager, the former Red Bull coach before Armas took over. Talked about what a good move Armas was to come in to replace the 2017 MLS, 2018 CONCACAF Coach of the Year in Vanney. Well, Ali Curtis spoke about a style of play similar to an energy drink. It's an injection of intensity that Chris Armas sought. The slide in keeps it away from Akinola, whose work can be seen in the drenching sweat pouring down. Delgado, Bradley. Free kick. Angulo won the foul. Angulo down under the challenge of Delgado. And you think about Angulo's goal earlier in the 37th minute, and you can't help but think back to the 2017 World Cup qualifier played in this venue.
Jacob, look at me.
You see Michael Bradley in the background there. He scored a similar lofted laser beam from a similar area on the field going into a similar net, but without the sound of some 87,000 people, it's tough to really put it in context. Chance here on the free kick. That is Bono raking this in, pulling it down. Bradley at least got a touch or two of the ball that day. But truthfully, the spot on the field itself that he scored from, nearly identical to what Angulo did in the 27th minute that put Cruz Azul ahead in the second leg. Auro. All this space, Delgado. Heavy touch from De Leon. Angulo. Placed down by Gonzalez. Akinola.
Let's go. No. Get Patrick too.
Yep.
Patrick and Noble.
Well, one would think, based on the conversations, come with an empty venue. Patrick Mullins, Noble Okello would be the logical next progression here for Toronto FC to try and provide a bit of life. Bench really not all that deep. They do have the young center back. It would likely be unnecessary. Ralph Priso, a midfielder, available as well. But Singh and Priso don't seem like the logical next step here for Toronto. Auro. Delgado. Bradley. See Noble Okello in the backdrop, receiving final instructions. Interestingly for Cruz Azul, they're going to make changes here. That'll be Hernandez and Rodriguez coming on. No lack of firepower tonight from Cruz Azul when it's all said and done. They'll avoid the reclassification, so they're going to get a bit of time off before jumping into the Liguilla. And Champions League will not return for several months until after the Gold Cup is concluded in CONCACAF. Angulo comes off. His goal in the 27th was simply magical. Rodriguez looked to place that down. Angulo, the goal scorer, coming off a moment ago. Auro, Bradley, Endo, Larea. For Cruz Azul, that's now 4 substitutes. Rodriguez, Fernandez, Martinez, and Hernandez. The expectation is Toronto is going to make their next 2 changes in a moment's time. Endo. Larea, Bradley. Hernandez pushed him off. Endo. Chipped ahead, Romo. If he got that on the first time, Rodriguez had acres of space, and Auro commits the foul. Schaffelberg and Delgado will take leave, it appears, and make that De Leon rather than Delgado. So it's Okello and Mullins who've come on for Toronto. And at this stage, they only have one substitute remaining. Same can be said for Cruz Azul. Windows will not be an issue tonight. Lofted ball. Martinez caught up. Steered away. And now Escobar. Gotta give it to Nick De Leon. Some of the passes he was dicing through in the opening 20, 25 minutes really confounded Cruz Azul. Gradually, Cruz Azul grew into the game. Toronto was unable to convert. Slowly, an exciting start from Toronto dissipated. Not much in that from Okello, but enough. And Guillermo Fernandez wins the free kick.
Come on, Pat, here we go. Good, Mike.
Bradley.
That's it, Pat, that's it. Just help us out there, Pat, underneath.
For Toronto, if you're being blunt, it's so early in their season. Cruz Azul, they'll have a chance to really enjoy this for a moment. The next opponent is unknown. If they're able to see this out with a victory, put them in a really good position. 19 unbeaten potentially, moving into the Liguilla and the quarterfinal round once the reclassification is complete. Mullins stepped through once, breaks end line, serves the cross, nobody there. Endo had vacated that zone. But for Toronto, it's going to be a really interesting next few games. Regardless of the result tonight, they'll go away to New York, play Red Bulls. That'll be a return for Chris Armas to his former club. Then Toronto will host the Columbus Crew, who may well still be in Champions League. Akinola. Truly comfortable for Jesus Corona.
Come on, Noble, gotta get behind the ball, Noble. Behind the ball.
Rodriguez. Fernandez. Rodriguez, why not? Rodriguez slings this wide of Bono.
Here comes. Second ball, second one. I'm behind you, Omar. Hey.
72nd minute. Cruz Azul with a 4-1 advantage in the aggregate. 1-0 on the night. Escobar. Aguilar, who upon arrival say didn't really understand the entirety of this drought. But the challenge itself to bring a title was one that made Cruz Azul a more intriguing home. Aguilar time at Tijuana at Club America, where he won the Champions League twice. Cruz Azul has just one substitution remaining, and Aldrete will be replaced by Julio Dominguez. Dominguez closing in on more than 500 games in the Mexican First Division. His entire career at Cruz Azul. Started in the academy in 2003, and here 18 years later, still figuring in large in Champions League and the domestic league. Couple of runs percolating. Rodriguez was slow to the trigger. And at this stage, Cruz Azul will simplify, force Toronto out of their comfort zone. I have to say that Julio Dominguez has had such a remarkable career, one that oftentimes went unnoticed on the international level. Bagged 12.5 goals, caps, never scored for the Mexican national team. But at this stage is eclipsed well over 500 games, all competitions, club and country. Slots in here late, stretch those bones out before the Liguilla begins. Liguilla begins in about a week. First leg, second leg are just 3 days apart in the quarterfinal stage. Coming off that 1-1 draw against Club Tijuana, Cruz Azul had already locked up the #1 seed. It'll be in their hands this year to try and undo what's over 2 decades of negative history. Perhaps by the time Cruz Azul re-enters this competition, should they see out the last quarter hour, of course, they'll be the reigning champions instead of the side that entered among some of the most disgracing circumstances in the Liguilla just 4 or 5 months ago. Good recovery. Really haven't seen all that much of the ball at the feet of Noble Okello. Okello's listed 6 feet 5 inches. And those strides just eat up ground underneath him. Whether it's the play of Cruz Azul, one that certainly would be olayed by tens of thousands tonight under a different set of global circumstances, or just simply the altitude catching up to this Toronto side that just played on the weekend. TFC have slowed significantly here as time bleeds away. All the while, you can hear the coaching staff imploring. There's still about 20 minutes left here. If you get one, maybe there's a reason to dream. But make no mistake, if Toronto come back now, it's the most miraculous comeback in CONCACAF Champions League knockout stage history, perhaps. Certainly so for Toronto. Free kick, Cruz Azul, Endo going through. Good turn into space. Unleashing. Nothing there for Hernandez. twice a winner of the Mexican First Division at Leon. Another of the players with over 400 appearances in the Mexican First Division. And all the while, Romo started up the other way. Comfortably taken and quickly distributed by Bono. 12 minutes plus stoppage to play. Springing forward, Larea.
Let's go.
Second one.
Auro stepped in, showing a bit of energy. Hernandez. Escobar. (4-1) aggregate lead for Cruz Azul. His 30th ever home game in CONCACAF Champions League at the Azteca for Cruz Azul. They've lost once, drawn 6 times. Romo, excellent ball all the way through, leaping over Fernandez. Goes sliding in toward the post. Would take him just a touch, perhaps, to get the second. Here's the change. Akinola simply looked completely spent at the end of this. And it's Ralph Priso who will come on. The 18-year-old gets his first taste of the Azteca. Guy who didn't make the academy team from age 11 to 13 for Toronto. Wasn't until 2017 as a 14-year-old that finally he was accepted. Now into the first team just 4 years later. Good ball on the overlap, and there's Bono leaping out. 8.5 minutes. It would take literal perfection from here for Toronto. Okello. Priso's first pass is beyond a stranded Patrick Mullins. Fernandez. It's that nice little leading ball there. And it would have been simple enough for Hernandez to tap that home. That's the second cross over these past 2-3 minutes. Really seemed to cause a little bit of consternation for Toronto FC. At the end of the day, it's just going to be an absolute shame. We don't see Toronto at their absolute best in this competition. But one thing is for sure, Cruz Azul is playing as well as any team in this region right now. Regardless of what Toronto put on the field, Cruz Azul's current form just appears unbreakable.
Higher. Come on, Auto. Come on, Auto. 2v1, here we go, Pat.
Mullins, Auro with a deflection. Okello goes cascading into the net, bypassing Delgado, careens off of Priso, slung back toward the corner, missed Auro a second time. The deflection created a brief moment where Toronto thought they could get one back. Hung in the air, not even that magnificent 6'5" frame of Noble Okello was able to make contact with this.
The red line's in the box, brother. Come on, the urgency to score. Come on.
And what effort by Ignacio Rivero. Keep that out.
Keep going, guys. Keep going. Second ball. Second one. Well done, Omar.
Gonzalez won the first ball.
Just reset. Reset it, Ralph.
There's the switch. Fernandez has company. Correa kept it away from Jonathan Rodriguez. Player who 9 years ago was loaned for a bag of balls and $7,000 opt-out. Plus a percentage of his value moving forward. Jonathan Rodriguez has come such a long way since then. The Uruguayan among the most lethal scorers in Mexico over the past 12 months. I suppose really over the last 9 or 10 months since the return of Mexican football from the pandemic. It's been most noticeable. These past 2 short seasons, 22 goals for Jonathan Rodriguez. He's been used off the bench in these opening rounds of CONCACAF Champions League. One would imagine by the time the semifinal comes around, may be prepared to start. Okello, Endo blasts this off Dominguez. Recovered by Gonzalez. Delgado, Corona.
Inside it out. Just shift it over, Pat. Pat, maybe take it away and can't go back. That's it. Come on.
Corona once more.
Good route. Move your feet. Good. Move your feet.
40-year-old in 15 appearances in the Clausura. Allowed 9 goals, 8 shutouts. Staggering numbers. Rodriguez displaced by Bradley. Rolled into the wide area. Served Romo. Romo after it again. Did that get up off his bicep?
Come on, man. Keep going. Come on. Up. Get it, Ralph. Come on. Find some space up there, Ralph. Good. Come on, Ralph. Good out of. Justin, you can drive. Come in. Come in, Mike.
Correa. Delgado. Hello. Auro. Good seeking ball. Endo. Multiple players converge. Priso for Bradley. Slice through. Larea late to the run. And at this stage for Cruz Azul, they should be able to finish this by way of death by 1,000 paper cuts. Handful of passes could see this to full time. And for Cruz Azul, they appear well on their way to changing the narrative around their club that spanned 2.5 decades. Any jokes about this being a small club could well be a thing of the past if they can manage a double this year. They're a leading contender in Liga MX, and certainly they'll be a leading contender for the semifinals when Champions League returns. Rodriguez waited and waited. Auro, Morro, away by Gonzalez, whose career in Mexico certainly distinguished in its own right. For Toronto, regardless of what happens in Major League Soccer this year, the Canadian Championships' eventual return should give them a realistic chance to make some noise in this tournament again. Perhaps they can be at full strength next time that happens. Mullins, Corona. In that sense, Chris Armas and Toronto FC do have reason for optimism going forward, but Juan Reynoso's side early on bypassed the pressure entirely. In the second half, they've simply passed through and around it. Shouldn't be all that much extra time. No need. Cruz Azul, a tremendous performance in this quarterfinal round, have dispatched Toronto FC. 4-1 in the aggregate. Brian Angulo taking all the air out of this Toronto side in the 27th minute with a back-breaking 40-yard chip of a goal. And by the time Champions League returns, this venue may well be rocking again in Mexico City. But at the Estadio Azteca tonight, Cruz Azul defend home turf as they always do. It finishes in the second leg. Cruz Azul 1, Toronto FC 0, and in the aggregate, Cruz Azul 4, Toronto FC 1. So long.